Welcome back to the Data Obsessed Fat Guy, everyone. Okay, sorry, I know I missed yesterday's video, and technically, I missed the day before yesterday's video as well, because this is Saturday for me now, just a bit past midnight. So I'm going to go through both here right now. So as you see, this is what I ate on the 19th. Got up to basically 3,100 calories. And this here is, of course, the 20th. So the 19th was Thursday, the 20th was Friday. We're going to go back and forth here a bit. Normally I would have just spiced them together, have them both on the screen at the same time, but they both don't perfectly line up. Like, I had lunch on Thursday, but not on Friday. And these titles are so arbitrary, but basically some of these I ate a lot more in certain categories than others. So let's get into it. Yeah, sorry I don't have a picture to show you here, but I actually tried making the kettle chips. And I tried making them in the air fryer. And I didn't have a mandolin, so they were not as thin as they could have or should have been. Half of them turned out fine. The other half were just ended up either over or under baking them. The seasoning I made, I'm going to go into that once I'm done with everything from Thursday and Friday. But this seasoning is great. It's kind of like crack. I'm starting to put it on everything. It's becoming my main seasoning. Yes, I ate the last little bit of that cake I did not like, but became addicted to. And I threw the rest of it away. I still had over half of the cake left. I just threw it away. So basically on Friday I tried to make an omelet. I screwed that up within the first 30 seconds, so they became scrambled eggs filled with corned beef and all types of veggies and cheese. And it was great. It was very good. This also ended up with me grabbing one of my pre-made lamb and broccoli bowls and eating it right afterwards, actually, with it, because apparently the omelet wasn't going to be enough for me for some reason, and it was good. Here they go. It's hard to see, but the steak is buried there right at the top, right beneath all that broccoli and that egg monstrosity. That tasted way better than it had any right to. I can honestly eat that every day, all day, but I gotta limit the eggs. Under 4 a day, under 4. And Thursday's lunch was pretty much just that same, setup of lamb and broccoli, and not much else. I actually had some seltzer too. I think I recorded that in a different section, which is why it's not showing here. But seltzer is just water with carbon added to it and a little salt, so it's 0 calories. We're not missing much here. I only have one of these left. Technically, I was supposed to have 0 of these left after Friday, but yeah, I didn't. I don't think I ate one today, or it was just one day where I did not eat one like I was supposed to, but that's why I still have one left. And Friday's dinner was ridiculous but good as well. It was basically grilled cheese with corned beef, grilled corned beef in between them. Like, I baked it like you normally would and cut it into slices. I just tossed them onto the griddle while the bread was being browned, and it was delicious. And I'm sorry, I said Friday, I meant Thursday. It's like I'm getting mixed up here. And of course, with the grilled cheese, I had some noodles. And I notice some of you are new here, and you've been seeing lemon pop. Lemon pop is very simply just seltzer as well, water, salt, carbonation, and then I add in a little bit of lemon juice. By a little bit, I mean anywhere between 2 to 4 tablespoons of it, depending upon the size of it. So if it's 16 ounces, it's getting 2 tablespoons. 32 ounces, which is the full recipe, is getting 4. And on top of that, I have these packets of dried fruit that I add to it that have been pulverized. Pretty much, they say it's from the peel or just they dried out the fruit or whatever. I'm going to toss a picture on the screen here. But I have 3 different varieties here. I have grapefruit, I have lime, and I have orange. And as you can see here, I forgot to take a picture before I started eating, but hey, there we go. The noodles there, it looks like there's a lot more than there really is. That's mainly because of the amount of vegetables there. You're actually covering them and they're filled throughout this. They're busting through, as you see there. With these noodles that I make from time to time, I was supposed to have a pasta maker by now, but due to some foolishness with FedEx that I finally got resolved, I didn't get it before. So there's no way for me to get the same pasta maker I ordered before or anything, but I'm no longer going to have issues whenever FedEx attempts to deliver to my home. So I'm using instant ramen packets, throwing away the seasonings, and just using the noodles from the pack there. But I plan to in the future to make them from scratch or with a pasta maker when I can to greatly increase the macros and nutrition. But for now, yeah, this is what I'm using. I know it's not the best. Okay, and we're back to Friday once again, and Friday was pretty similar. You see there, more grilled cheese, or really it was a cheeseburger with grilled bread. It's pretty much the same as my grilled cheese, except I'm just tossing a hamburger patty in the middle instead of using regular buns. And it works out well. I actually added corned beef to it. I was being a little bit extra when I made this. And I used the kettle chip seasoning on the burger, and it really helped it turn out pretty well. The jalapenos in there really helped bring out all the great flavors. Okay, and this will be the last time we shoot back to Thursday again for looking at food, but these are snacks. Some more seltzer, me pinching corned beef out the fridge, stealing a drumstick out the freezer, and just killing off the last bit of my snake juice, I think, or it was pretty close to being killed off, and eating a bunch of oranges at night. Wasn't bad till I ate the pork rinds, and you know, these were flaming hot pork rinds. I had to pick up a bag when I saw this in the store. Normally I get them completely unflavored, unseasoned, but flaming hot, I had to try it. It was good. Wouldn't buy it again because it's not worth the price. It's what, $2.50 for a bag that normally costs about $1, so not again. Okay, and then let's kill off the end of Friday. Friday was also very similar. It looks like I had a little bit of those flaming hot pork rinds left behind, and that it was just a very similar night again, with me stealing another drumstick and eating just one orange instead of 3, drinking quite a bit more. And yeah, I actually killed off the snake juice then. Have not made any more. I should be making it right now. Just been a busy couple of days here. A lot's been going on. Want to have a tie nice again. My beloved is back. My true beloved, the Outshine bars, they are here as well. I am waiting to touch them, because those are my favorite. Okay, so you're going to be seeing corned beef a lot over the weekend and next week. I just wrapped a tray in foil completely and baked the corned beef. I forgot the temp I did it at. Was that at 350 or 425? I forgot which. But I did that for about 3.5 hours because it weighed about 5 pounds. It came out perfect. While this isn't the most flattering picture of it before slicing, it also came out safe. Love this food thermometer. Now this here is just one of the many pictures I took of the process of drying out the food here. What you're seeing on the bottom shelf are onions. I peeled the outer layer, tossed it, and then just cut the insides into multiple pieces as you see there. Everything on the top rack on the right side is garlic, peeled and chopped in half. And on the left you have jalapenos and red bell peppers. The red bell peppers took the longest, and I realized I should have used my air fryer for this. Way too late, but it turns out fine. For the most part, everything works out. I did end up tossing the red bell peppers into the air fryer to finish drying it out, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But that is the red bell pepper, my greatest enemy, pulverized and sifted. And this is the same plate, basically same picture as the last one you just saw there. Just that my camera went out of focus a little bit with this one, so it dropped some of the color. I do not like the newer camera, the OnePlus 9 Pro, but that's the same shot. In real life, it actually looked as bright as it did in that picture. I don't know why it looks so washed out here. You just toss it into a food processor, add a lot of your own seasoning. I added salt and a bunch of other things. I can go into the recipe in another video if there's interest, but this is what it came out to be. Now on the app, chronometer, I call it the kettle seasoning, which is what it was intended to do. But because of how it looks and how it smells, I call it the shit seasoning sometimes, the crap. But when you put it on food, it tastes so much better than it smells. It's so wonderful. It's so packed with flavor and taste. And pretty much just as a popcorn seasoning shaker. I used to use this with the ramen seasoning I make, and we upgraded with that with different holders, but this is what I use now. It works out well. And finally, moving off of food, we're just looking at steps. And I was doing good all week. My steps day for day have been crushing last week's day for day, which was my goal this week, but I actually just felt that tonight. I thought that I had beat last Friday's today, but I didn't realize I was really walking last Friday. Hit over 6,000 steps last Friday. I only hit 5,300, today, or technically an hour ago. So, yeah, I failed at my goal, but I'm still going to crush these numbers week over week. Still got a whole day of steps to pick up on. So I'm guessing I'm going to stop around 45,000 or so, or maybe a little bit more. But not so bad. I'm going to have different goals for next week. Yeah, so the blood glucose has been on a wild ride this week. As you see, with a high of 150 on Tuesday and a low of 102 on Wednesday, the day after. So Thursday I woke up at 123 and Friday I woke up at 119. Ate kind of trashy those 2 days, but it's still been going down. Tomorrow we will see how close I get to 100, because I know it's not going to be at 100 tomorrow unless the extra steps I'm putting in tonight somehow help out. Blood pressure has been a constant focus here on the channel and in my life, and Thursday it was ridiculously high, as you see there. This was me sitting there at rest. Heart rate would not go down. I was slightly agitated, but the level of agitation I was personally feeling usually doesn't hit me above a 75 after sitting down for 10 minutes. So it had to be more than just that. So a trashy eating caught up with me. But then I ate worse on Thursday compared to Friday. On Friday's blood pressure reading, I get my heart rate down to 74 with the same type of agitation in that morning with a 136/92. So systolic is mostly fine. For me, it's in the range I believe I should be at right now when I'm having normal days, as I keep working to get it lower. But my diastolic, that is high. That is still too high right now. So I really can't rest well at the moment. I need to figure that out. So Thursday gave a 2-pound gain, and I wasn't happy with that. Technically it's 2.1 pound gain. I was not happy with that at all. I understand I haven't been eating the best this week, but that's pretty much my body just holding on to all of the food and some water. But then you go to Friday and there's a full 4-pound drop. Oh, I do not know what Saturday is going to look like. I am just going to try to get some good sleep, wake up, do a few stretches, and then just record the, front back side shots to put up and get the rest of the vitals. I already know my measurements are going to be higher. My legs have been particularly stiff, and I thought I was drinking more water this week, but they are very stiff and even a little bloated. But there's been I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with that. Aside from some personal things I've been dealing with, I finally got back the results of my sensitivity test. And I've just been going through the results, tempering my expectations, and just really trying to make sense of the results that I've had. I had a few, close calls where I was just like, oh no, I can't eat ads no more. Or like, oh no, I read that wrong. And I didn't read it in full before I said I couldn't eat ads anymore. Turns out ads are actually great for me. And then it's just sensitivity as well. There is so much that goes into that. The only way to really properly understand these results is to do an elimination diet and to slowly reintroduce things one by one and pay close attention to your body and its reactions. Which is just, this is part of the data that I'm using to help figure out what's next. Because I can't keep going forward at this little trash rate I've been doing the past few weeks. I know better and I've done better, but no, I want to do more than just what I was doing before. I want to take a more targeted approach, and this food sensitivity test is going to be one part of that strategy. The other part of the strategy is I've been going back and looking at my older entries and chronometer and both of my scale weights and comparing, weight loss dates versus what I was eating the day before and day of to figure out how that's, related. I'm almost far back enough to be able to start going into my fitness pal, which I was using before chronometer, to start doing comparisons. Because I'm going to try to jump back and forth between data from the last 2-3 years to try to figure out what really works best. I've taken a few notes, I got feelings, there are always things on the top of my head that I can keep going, but I want to just go through the list, be like, oh, I loved eating that, see that, it led to me losing weight, and pulling that out and trying to keep it balanced, trying to figure out, what's the proper proportion or ratio of food to satisfaction that I can get here. Trying to be happy and move forward, and this has to be a lifestyle change. That's why bread has come back, because I missed bread a lot this year. So bread's been back the past few weeks, and I just been experimenting with bread. And I switched to this potato bread today, made a grilled cheese with it. Didn't use any butter. It worked. It was serviceable. The butter definitely helps to make the difference. I'm going to figure out how to use butter without going overboard on it. Maybe melt it and put it into a small sprayer and just mist it a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to figure something out with butter. Maybe easier just slice it very thinly, toss it on the griddle, and just slide the bread around to let it just get covered mainly in the middle. So just a small amount on both sides or one side. I'm sorry I kept y'all on this one picture for the longest, but thank you all for watching. God bless you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.